Yes? So that is out of the way. And we would continue. My profound apologies. Thank you for joining this live wherever you are, whatever time of the day or the night. This is Throwback Sunday Live, my childhood stomping grounds. So I'm here. Let me just go back to this building here. This building here, as I was saying before the call came in, belonged to a lady by the name of Miss Strong. Yeah, she was a business owner in the town of St. George. Yeah, it is now a law office. It says here Pauline Hannibal and Associates, Attorney at Law, Notaries Republic. This building here brings back quite a number of memories. Yeah, this here school, Presentation Brothers College, was my home away from home educationally from 1977 to 1982. Yep. This is an icon in terms of the buildings and so a treasure in my opinion and one that should be maintained. Yeah, it's in a state of disrepair, what have you, dilapidation. I remember as a little boy, this little building here, that's where the caretaker stayed, in that building here. Yeah, he did his cooking and what have you. And these were the forms. We had Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. I could remember that center part there as being Form 2. We had a notorious teacher at the time, Mr. Campbell. Man, that gentleman, he was always on time. I could remember he was always on time. He loved his red rum. So there was a shop on Greenwood Street where we would come early, take his drink and cigarette. He was a gentleman that loved to smoke. Yeah. And this here is the entrance exit to Presentation Brothers College. In my time, there was no gate. It was an open space that we could have just gone in. Yeah. And during my stay here educationally, we had a brotherhood. Um, the brotherhood, I remember, consisted of a few Caucasian people from abroad, I think notably Ireland and what have you. So we had Brother Libori, Anthony Sheehan, Mato, yes, Brother Matthias, and Anthony Sheehan was the principal during my time. Yep. Um, the time came during my tenure as well when they needed to outsource teachers from outside of the brotherhood. Yeah. And so we had the likes of Cadgington Hood, Mr. Andrews, Mr. Miller, we had Mr. Cruikshank, yeah, uh, and you had Miss Miller as well, yeah. So we had both male and female, yeah. I remember too. There was that lady that took care of the office, Miss Telma. The office was to the front. When you go straight across and you go around the building, the office was to the front. Yep. Presentation Brothers College. The the houses. I remember the school houses were Dominican, Patrician, Aquinian, yep, and Fimba. These were the houses here during my time. Yep. I do believe that is a building that should be given some serious attention, uh, rejuvenated, repair, and brought back to life, you know, maintain. It's a heritage, it's a state heritage. So we turn right. This plot of land here had a building, a wooden building, a tall wooden large building. It was Miss Redhead. The lady name was Miss Redhead. I think her husband was once the principal of PBC, and that was long before my time. So we continue along. Yep, that plot of land is now up for sale. As you can clearly see, it says here for sale. Been advertised by Terra Caribbean. Anybody who's interested, make sure they sell the cow, the pig, the goat in order to buy that plot of land. Headed down, we coming up to another prestigious institution. But before I do that, I remember this building here. I think it was not fully wall. I think it was wooden and wall. Yeah. You can see it has been refurbished, repainted. Here we had a wooden building. We had a joiner shop here, And I remembered Miss Patrick, Miss Avis. She used to ply her trade right at that intersection there. Her sweet treats, her drinks, tambram ball, etc. Yes. So let us turn to my right. If you notice a sign here that says, in memory of Father William Sheehan. Yep. Apostle of the children. I don't know the relationship he probably would have had with Anthony Sheehan, but I believe there was some relationship. This here is another prestigious institution, primary institution, popularly known as Mother Rose. Its official name is the St. Louis R.C. Girls School. And I think it got the name Mother Rose from the very first principal of that school. Yeah, I think she was a member of the sisterhood of the Catholic diocese. Let me just get a bit closer. Yeah. There it is, St. Louis R.C. Girls School. Yep. It always had a gate. I think in my time it was a wooden gate. We now see a metal gate. And it's so colorful. The steps are so colorful. It says here, in this school, we are real. We make mistakes. We say sorry. We are given. We have fun. We give hugs. We are respectful. We forgive. We laugh a lot. We express ourselves. We love each other. We play. We play. We are family. Yep. Times have certainly changed. Myself and many of us that lived in the environment there would have gone through this area here. It was always open out to relax, recreate, fly kites, have fun basically. Also to during the introduction of Rastafarianism, the early days of Rastafarianism in this country, a fatality occurred here. Someone was unalived, yes? And I'm quite sure a lot of you might be familiar with the person and their name. Yep, I'm not going to call their name. Right at this very, I'm not sure if it's that spot within that walls or it's the St. Joseph Convent. This here is the intersection of St. Jules Street, the top portion, and Maloney Street, the bottom section. Yeah, you have in between, it intersects with Grenville Street. Yeah, this was always the gate that led to the car park and the sort of a playing field and playing grounds within the convent compound at the back. Yeah, this building here, it was a residential building. Well-known member of the education fraternity. She was a teacher, Miss Baptiste. It is now the law offices of my then chemistry teacher at PBC, Cadgington A.K. Hood. Yep. It says here, Hood and Hood, attorneys at law. Yep. We're going to continue. This building here was another residential building. I remember as a young boy, it was the Charleses, Lalaboo, etc. He was a well-known taxi man as a little boy growing up. Yep. This galvanized section here at one point in time was the law offices of Anselm Clouden, the upstairs, and the downstairs were that of Michael Andrews. I remember they had a downstairs there. Michael Andrews occupied the downstairs. That one has certain afternoon. Val, what are you doing? Good. All right. This here is my moderator here will be able to say a few words about this prestigious institution that was a former alma mater. Could you just?
Oh, so that's the St. Joseph Convent, St. George's. And as you can see, they recently celebrated 150 years.
And it seems as though they're still celebrating,
Yeah.
maybe the whole year, 150 years of service to Grenada. And when you think about it, quite a number of well-known persons would have graduated from this prestigious institution here. So it says here, celebrating our anniversary, 150 years St. Joseph Convent, St. George's, 1875. Ooh, that was way, way, way before my time, to 2025. They have here online websites that you can go on to see, www.sjc150.com, and a contact number for any inquiries. This here is the entrance, main entrance, gateway. Yep. It was always gated during my time. And this here, it says, Diocese of St. George's in Grenada. Welcome to the Jubilee year 2025. Yes, so they're celebrating a Jubilee year 2025. And it says here, Pilgrims of Hope. This is another national heritage as we come to the intersection of St. John Street and Church Street. I always think, and still do to this day, that the fact that this street has the steeple of the Catholic Church overviewing it ought to be a blessing. Yeah? This here is the Roman Catholic Church. Again, in my time, you could have gone in inside there, view the place, sit down, pray, what have you. Times have certainly changed, I guess, for one or more reasons. Yeah, it is now gated, and it was we had a wooden structure right in front of it. Yep. Let me just get closer so that you can see here. It says Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. It gives you the schedule of masses. Yep. Weekend masses, weekday masses, confessions, holy hour benediction, night vigil, etc. Yeah, and there's a contact number. The downstairs here, it was a wooden gate. I remember it being a wooden gate. We had St. Mary's Junior School right here. St. Mary's Junior School downstairs. And the first opening, I believe, is where the bishops normally, when they die, are buried in the downstairs. Yeah, again, that was an open space we could have just gone in. But it's housed, I don't know if it still houses the priesthood, members of the diocese and officers. Yeah, we come down to the office of the Society of the St. Vincent de Paul. Yep, yep. Does anyone recognize this building here, this structure here, this compound? Yes, another national heritage in a state of disrepair since the passage of Ivan. Yeah. Upstairs we had Parliament, the Houses of Parliament, and in the downstairs was where the Supreme Court operated. To my right, we have the registry, where you go to register lands, make inquiries, births and deaths, etc. Yes, and this used to be the entrance. Again, as a little boy plying this route here, one would recall whenever there's Parliament, the street would be blocked off from the bottom, yeah, up to that intersection, and it was meant to be quiet. Even when the Supreme Court was operating, yes, take a closer look. I mean, look at this. A national heritage in a state of total disrepair. Yeah, total disrepair. Crying out for some attention. Yeah. To the left here, all this section or this building coming down here belong to the Roman Catholic Cathedral. It says here, Cathedral House, Diocese Secretariat, Cathedral House. I remember here there was a open doorway that you could have gone in. This is where the youth group, the Catholic youth group, oftentimes, well, in times past, did the practicing. Yep. This was a favorite um, getaway spot. As a little boy, we would run up in here and run out and cross on the other side. It says here, if you look closely, Houses of Parliament members entrance. Yeah, it's no longer Houses of Parliament, neither members entrance. It's all gated up. So we're coming up here now to.
Very about it. Well, I will say that because I grew up there, but I used to visit my cousins and their granddad every Easter time we'd be up there. So I'm very familiar with it. Not very close.
Does anyone recognize this street?
So no.
Yep.
I'd say no.
Look at it.
Back then,
Look at it. Does anyone here recognize this street? This here is Market Hill, the famous Market Hill. Yep. Leading to the center of the city of St. George. Yeah. You can get a little view of the market. Yeah. Green buildings there to your right. Yeah. And you can see the ocean there in the distance. Yep. So the journey continues. I remember this building here as being a residential building. Yeah, and I don't remember who lived there, but I knew it was a residential building. It was transformed. It has been transformed. I think it was the Wesley House. I think it was the Wesley House, owned by the Wesley House. It seemingly has changed hands. You can see its office spaces. Yeah, yep. Remains. It still maintains its colonial heritage, the brickwork. Yep. Look at the style. To my right here, this building belonged to the Fletchers. See the sign that says Church Street? The downstairs, I remember we had Dr. Watts doing his dentures and anything pertaining to teeth and what have you. I'm not sure if he used to polish, but Mr. Watts, and he had his understudy was Mr. Spoon. Mr. Spoon was his understudy. So they operated at the downstairs here. We turn to the left. This building here belonged to the Robinsons. Yes. To my right, I remember as a little boy, we had the late Wyndham Robertson law offices operating right here. Yep. Well, it's in a state of disrepair too, I guess, abandoned. Yep. Here we had well-known Morissette. The barber, Mr. Morissette, operated his barber shop within these walls. And here used to be a favorite stomping ground for us. There was an open pathway here. There was a door here, I remember as a little boy, going in towards GTM, the insurance. Yep. That gentleman at the time, Charles C. Davis, I think he was the manager or agent for this branch. I just want to share with you a piece of history there. It says, historic sedan chair portico. This portico is the actual front entrance of this building for sedan chairs. In the 19th century, during early British colonial rule in Grenada, the sedan chair was a major mode of transportation used by the free-colored and landed gentry. They were carried to the building in sedan chairs and entered and exited through the portico. This site, as a result, is recognized as a historic landmark to be preserved as part of Grenada's history and cultural heritage. Plaque erected by the Washington, D.C. diaspora on August the 10th, 2012. Folks, this school here brings back a lot of memories for me. As a little boy, This is where my primary education started. St. George's Anglican Senior and Junior School. Yep. If I just get closer. Within these walls, again. Yep. Assembly would be at the bottom here. It has changed. It was never concreted as we see it now. Yep. It was a sort of an open dirt area. Yep. We had a wooden structure at the top left there. Yep. There was never these tanks and what have you. Go up to the top and it was a kind of dirt part here. Yep. This is where I got my primary education. Secure. Give me a minute now. Just a minute. I just would like my viewers see where our school inside here, standing up there and going inside. I just want to show them. Yeah. So, folks, I was privy to a view of